Lesson 92. Miracles are seen in light, and light and strength are one. The idea for today is an extension of the previous one. You do not think of light in terms of strength and darkness in terms of weakness. That is because your idea of what seeing means is tied up with the body and its eyes and brain. Thus you believe that you can change what you see by putting little bits of glass before your eyes. This is among the many magical beliefs that come from the conviction you are a body, and the body's eyes can see. You also believe the body's brain can think. If you but understood the nature of thought, you could but laugh at this insane idea. It is as if you thought you held the match that lights the sun and gives it all its warmth, or that you held the world within your hand, securely bound until you let it go. Yet this is no more foolish than to believe the body's eyes can see, the brain can think. It is God's strength in you that is the light in which you see, as it is His mind with which you think. His strength denies your weakness. It is your weakness that sees through the body's eyes, peering about in darkness to behold the likeness of itself. The small, the weak, the sickly and the dying, those in need, the helpless and afraid, the sad, the poor, the starving and the joyless. These are seen through eyes that cannot see and cannot bless. Strength overlooks these things by seeing past appearances. It keeps its steady gaze upon the light that lies beyond them. It unites with light, of which it is a part. It sees itself. It brings the light in which your self appears. In darkness you perceive a self that is not there. Strength is the truth about you. Weakness is an idol falsely worshipped and adored, that strength may be dispelled. And darkness rule where God appointed that there should be light. Strength comes from truth, and shines with light its source has given it. Weakness reflects the darkness of its maker. It is sick and looks on sickness, which is like itself. Truth is a saviour, and can only will for happiness and peace for everyone. It gives its strength to everyone who asks, in limitless supply. It sees that lack in anyone would be a lack in all, and so it gives its light that all may see and benefit as one. Its strength is shared, that it may bring to all the miracle in which they will unite in purpose and forgiveness and in love. Weakness, which looks in darkness, cannot see a purpose in forgiveness and in love. It sees all others different from itself, and nothing in the world that it would share. It judges and condemns, but does not love. In darkness it remains to hide itself, and dreams that it is strong and conquering, a victor over limitations that but grow in darkness to enormous size. It fears and it attacks and hates itself, and darkness covers everything it sees, leaving its dreams as fearful as itself. No miracles are here, but only hate. It separates itself from what it sees, while light and strength perceive themselves as one. The light of strength is not the light you see. It does not change and flicker and go out. It does not shift from night to day and back to darkness till the morning comes again. The light of strength is constant, sure as love, forever glad to give itself away, because it cannot give but to itself. No one can ask in vain to share its sight, and none who enters its abode can leave without a miracle before his eyes, and strength and light abiding in his heart. The strength in you will offer you the light, and guide your seeing, so you do not dwell on idle shadows that the body's eyes provide for self-deception. Strength and light unite in you, and where they meet your self stands ready to embrace you as its own. Such is the meeting place we try today to find and rest in, for the peace of God is where your self, His Son, is waiting now to meet itself again, and be as one. Let us give 20 minutes twice today to join this meeting. Let yourself be brought unto yourself. Its strength will be the light in which the gift of sight is given you. Leave then the dark a little while today, and we will practice seeing in the light, closing the body's eyes and asking truth to show us how to find the meeting place of self and self, where light and strength are one. Morning and evening we will practice thus. After the morning meeting, we will use the day in preparation for the time at night when we will meet again in trust. Let us repeat as often as we can the idea for today, and recognize that we are being introduced to sight and led away from darkness to the light where only miracles can be perceived. Lesson 92. Miracles are seen in light, and light and strength are one. You think you see, but you only hallucinate separation. You do not think of light in terms of strength, and darkness in terms of weakness. That is because your idea of what seeing means is tied up with the body and its eyes and the brain. At the surface level, this paragraph is correcting your definition of vision. You've believed that seeing is what the eyes do, that strength is muscular, that weakness is frailty. But these concepts are egoic, shaped by a world that projects illusions and calls them real. The course begins by deconstructing our identification with the body. We are told, gently but firmly, that the eyes do not see, the brain does not think, and the body itself is not what we are. Vision is not sensory, it is spiritual awareness. True sight comes not from form, but from light. That light is strength, and that strength comes from God. This undoes a central fear that you are powerless in a world that defines what you can or cannot perceive. The message is this: you are not trapped. Your limitations are not real. You are not a body. What you perceive as vision, adjusting lenses, interpreting faces, reacting to images, is not seeing. It's merely filtering. And what you filter through fear, you reinforce. Every grievance, every diagnosis, every label becomes a self-fulfilling hallucination. You are a mind dreaming of separation. The body's eyes were made not to see truth, but to block it. Their function is to make the illusion of separation seem tangible. But miracles, true perception, can only be seen in light, and that light is internal. This paragraph invites you to stop chasing sight through eyes and begin remembering vision through spirit. What if you never needed to see the world differently? What if you only needed to stop mistaking projection for reality? Strength cancels. Weakness, instantly and completely. It is God's strength in you that is the light in which you see, as it is His mind with which you think. His strength denies your weakness. This is a metaphysical inversion of everything the ego teaches. It is not your strength that matters. It is God's strength in you. A strength that does not need defense, compensation, or proof. And because God's strength is in you, your weakness is not real. It is denied, not attacked, not argued with, but rendered non-existent in the presence of truth. Imagine you're in a tug-of-war against fear, shame, or insecurity. Now imagine the infinite strength of God quietly walks up and takes the rope from your hands. Do you keep pulling, or do you finally let go, breathe, and know it's already done? Weakness is the illusion that God is not here. Strength is the reality that He is, and that He is you. This is not motivational language, it's ontological truth. When love enters, fear cannot stay. When strength is remembered, effort collapses. You don't become strong, you remember you are strength. The Course always returns to the idea of non-duality. You do not possess strength apart from God. And because there is no separation, your strength is His, and His alone. But this means something astonishing. Your perception of others is also your perception of yourself. When you see weakness in them, you are still looking through ego. When you see light in them, you've begun to see yourself. True perception is unified, and therefore forgiving. Truth includes all, and what you give to yourself. Truth is a savior, and can only will for happiness and peace for everyone. It gives its strength to everyone who asks. It sees that lack in anyone would be a lack in all. Truth cannot be partial, it cannot bless one and curse another, it is inherently universal. Any vision that excludes, separates, or divides is not of God. The light of truth sees no guilt, no poverty, no hierarchy. In the presence of truth, all are equally radiant. The ego is built on specialness. This one is worthy, this one is not. I forgive her, but not him. I want peace, but only if it doesn't cost me control. Yet every moment of withholding is self-withholding. When you refuse to extend strength, you cut off your own supply. The Course calls this the law of giving and receiving as one. You only ever give to yourself. This is why your healing is never isolated. It touches the entire sonship. This paragraph reveals a hidden principle of spiritual physics. The only strength worth having is shared. If it can be hoarded, it's not real. If it creates separation, it's counterfeit. The self, capital S, offers strength not as a gift from one to another, but as a remembrance of the one in both. Forgiveness becomes inevitable when you realize that attacking your brother is attacking yourself, and seeing him healed is the only way you will ever know peace. The ego dreams of power, but only love is strong. It fears and it attacks and hates itself, and darkness covers up everything it sees. In darkness, it remains to hide itself, and dreams that it is strong. This is the anatomy of the ego. It is born of fear, sustained by judgment, and dependent on illusion. It does not love. It cannot love. It masquerades as strong through accumulation, dominance, and self-definition. But beneath it all is self-hatred. The ego's only true fear is exposure. Every attempt to prove your value through success, appearance, intellectual power, or social status is the ego's attempt to conquer its own limitations. But as the Course says, it becomes a victor over limitations that but grow in darkness to enormous size. In other words, the more you fight your shadow from ego, the larger it gets. The ego's version of strength is conquest. But true strength doesn't conquer. It joins. It does not demand. It gives. It does not dominate. It extends. You are not the ego. You are not the one who fears or attacks. You are the one observing the thought system that does. And when you stop identifying with its judgments and projections, you begin to disinvest from darkness itself. That's when the miracle becomes possible, not because you finally fixed your mind, but because you stopped believing it was broken. The meeting place of the self and the self. Strength and light unite in you, and where they meet, your self stands ready to embrace you as its own. Here is the culmination. You are not being invited to attain something. You are being called to return, to the meeting place within where the illusion of a small self is dissolved in the light of your true self. The reunion is not symbolic. It is ontological. It is the end of duality. The Course tells us to give time, morning and evening, to enter this place consciously. Let yourself be brought unto yourself. Do not rush. Do not try to earn it. Simply allow it. Close the body's eyes. Leave the grievances, the roles, the ego identity, for even a little while, and let vision come to you. You don't manufacture this sight. It is given in the stillness. When the little self is ready to release its illusions and accept the embrace of the capital S self, the miracle is not just seen, it is lived. The self does not judge your delay. It waits patiently. It is not ashamed of you. It remembers you perfectly. And when you return, it does not say, "Where have you been?" It says, "Welcome home." This is the miracle. Miracles are seen in light, and light and strength are one. Not two concepts, not sequential steps, one reality. You will not see them by straining your eyes or by fixing the world. You will not find them by becoming better. You will see miracles when you stop looking for illusions to be true. Because miracles are already here. They've simply been waiting for you to see again. And the moment you do, the self will recognize itself, the light will return to your mind, and you will remember you never left.